Hey, good morning, everybody. Sorry, I'm a little bit down. The weather been sick for a little bit of time, but I just wanted to let you guys know that I am changing my stats for M plus to Mastery Crit. So basically, I've been running Mastery Haze for the longest time. I do want to show you kind of what it overall looks like of damage. Now, this overall is not completely accurate because I did actually do some dummy testing right after I changed my stats to see what it like. But basically, running full mastery haste, my ferocious bite was actually stronger than my rake, so it was up here right here. But basically, what we're noticing is you can see my highest damage is 12% or 21% for my rip. Ferocious bite is now becoming 14%. A lot of this ferocious bite, 14%, is because how strong it is in AoE and in single target. But what also is to notice is this is 14.5%. Rampant ferocity is about 16, almost 6%. Which is making this about 20%, which is basically competitive with rip. So basically it's saying that the top priority of our damage is now bite. And something to notice is you can see that Ferocious Bite is critting for me about 24% of the time. Again, I wasn't running a lot of crit in my last build, so it's probably getting a little bit more bites off in AoE. So I'm going to have less bites, but they're going to be critting. But what you're going to notice here is Rampant Ferocity. This isn't a crit. It's very interesting, but this will never crit. It's actually, in a lot of things in the game, you feel like, hey, it's going to take your spell, right? It's going to take a piece of damage from Ferocious Bite. Let me look at the exact numbers here. It's going to take... Ferocious Bite hits by enemies affected by your rip for 35% of the damage dealt, right? So normally we'd think, hey, it's going to take 35% of this damage, it's going to chunk it, and then it's going to AoE it, and then maybe some of those are going to crit or not. No, actually they're not. And what we know from that kind of spread AoE is you have a higher likelihood chance to crit. It doesn't actually work like that. It is basically saying whatever the value of that Ferocious Bite is, that's the number that's hitting all of the mobs. So you actually only have one chance to crit, and that's off the original bite. And then if that crits, then obviously that 35% is greater. So that's unfortunate that it works like that. Since it does work like that, crit is going to be our main stat. This is basically our top ability, one of our top abilities in Mythic Plus. It's going to be our top ability in single target, obviously. So Bite is very much coming back to play. And unfortunately, we are going to recraft all of our gear. I feel a little bit bad because I, picked some of my dungeon slots, like this one is 421 Haste Mastery. And if I even put this in the Catalyst, it only turns into like Haste Verse. So it's a bummer. Luckily for us, well, not luckily for us, but a lot of our gear this expansion is actually coming just from crafts, the 418 recrafts and whatnot. So it sucks, but you can change, if you have a lot of crafted gear, you can change those to be exactly crit mastery. But that's what I would suggest you guys for Mythic Plus for single target. Feral Much is very much coming to be a bite build, and what we know from bite is since these are big sources of damage, if we can get that to crit and be even bigger, you can see here that my bite was averaging 71k with crits 137k. So those are pretty big drastic numbers, right? But I wanted to make this video, I want to be the first one to tell you guys, hey, these are going to be the majority, the best stats. Again, I will try and make my ultimate guide video when I'm feeling a little bit better, a little bit more up to it. But that's it for now. I guess sorry for the bad news, but most likely a lot of you guys are already running this.